Hello everybody and welcome to another Premodern video. I realized that I have not been playing that much Dreadnought lately, and by that I mean I haven't played the deck in like months actually. So I figure since I have not been able to qualify for the playoff because I've been messing around a little bit too much in the format lately, I wanted to kind of try hard a little bit for a change of pace and play my baby over here. My favorite deck in the format, and actually I've been meaning to try some new stuff for a while. The very first thing that I wanted to try out is adding 19th land. This is island number 10. This is obviously supposed to help make my gushes and foils more reliable, while at the same time allowing me to naturally hit my land drops and let me use my cantrips in order to find business as opposed to find lands. So that's pretty nice. And then the other thing that I'm doing is I'm playing a main deck Annull. I've seen David Kaplan has been playing 2 main deck Swords to Plowshares. I feel like that's something that you can do. But I'm just trying to like split the difference a little bit. We have 1 Swords to Plowshares, 1 Annull in the main deck. Everything else, I've been very happy with the numbers. 4 Dreadnought, 4 Mages, 4 Foil, 4 Gush, 4 Counterspell, 3 Dazes. This is the number that has felt the best for me. The fourth one kind of has felt like 1 too many, and 3 has just been right. A couple of Impulses, couple of Opts, and then obviously the full play set of the 1-drops, Portent, Stifle, and Vision Charm. Obviously these 2 to enable the combo and this 1 to set it up. The sideboard is where we're going to see the most amount of changes. So we're going to see 2 copies of Armageddon. This card has been overperforming versus decks like The Rock and Lansdale, so I'm being very happy with the 2 copies, so we're playing those. I'm going down to 1 Last Breath, and the reason for this is I wanted to give a try to the Brain Freeze game plan. The Brain Freeze angle is supposed to help us in the mirror match, as well as versus matchups like Standstill or even something like combo decks as well. So we're gonna give that a shot. I'm not super sold on the idea. Like, I like it, and I saw Rich Shea using it to great effect during the PSS, but I have not really tried it too hard myself. So we're gonna be trying out that today to see what happens. Then we have your Disenchants, your Swords to Plowshares, your Blue Elemental Blast and Hydroblast. Nobody's surprised by those. And then Curse Totem as well, as a way to stop the combo decks in the format, right? Like the elves and stuff like that. The only notable interesting thing is that we're only going with a 1 Last Breath as opposed to my usual 2. Because this is kind of the only way that we can answer Meddling Mage. But Brain Freeze kind of does that in a way, in a very roundabout way, because we get to turn the tables on the Meddling Mage game plan straight up by effectively like bringing in an alternate angle of attack. So we're gonna see how things go in this Magic Online Society League, and see you there. All right, here we go. Yeah, this seems like a fine keep. We have a Gush, Counterspell. We already have Meddling Mage. Obviously you're gonna be looking for a Shrimp, but this is a good enough start, I think. So turn 1 we play our Flooded Strand. Opponent moves to 6. Let's see what we're up against. Windswept Heath, Basic Plains, and Light Intruder. Okay, this is very good for me. Oath of Druids has been named. So I have many options here. I can just Vision Charm and mill my opponent's top deck. I can also just untap and play a Meddling Mage. I can also untap and fetch. I think I'm just going to... Man, because I kind of want to go mill you, Meddling Mage named Swords to Plowshares, but man, redundant Vision Charms are actually quite valuable, so I think I'm just going to go for... Okay, this is good. So I'm just going to go for Meddling Mage naming Oath. If my opponent wants to plow the Meddling Mage, that is fine, because then I'm going to be able to counterspell the Oath. Anyway, so let's name Oath of Druids. And the fact that I drew the Darker Ways is nice because it means that I can just play Flooded Strand, and even if my opponent has a port and they tap my island, I'm going to be able to hold up Counterspell on the following turn. Yeah, so I guess we win. I'm not going to go for this turn because there's no need for me to do that. So I'm just going to swing, hold up Counterspell. Oh, I guess I have double Vision Charm. Yeah, this is just fine. I can just go for it now. My opponent's got... Okay, so they do have Swords to Plowshares. That's fine. So that's good then. So now they use the swords there, and I can go ahead and I can play my Dreadnought, and I can Vision Charm. Face out the Dreadnought. If they have another plow, I get to Vision Charm again, and I don't even need to play around the Oath. Like, my opponent gets to resolve the Oath, but it just doesn't really matter. They're not going to have the mana to do everything. Another Light Intruder. This is fine. Seal of Cleansing. Okay, so my opponent has they mulligan and they are down 2 cards because they Enlighten Tutor twice. So we're looking really good here. We're looking very, very good. They play Factory, which doesn't really do anything here. Seal of Cleansing. You got it. Untap. Draw Counterspell. Swing. I'm just going to Vision Charm right now. So there's an argument for gushing now. I think it's worth it, because I'm still going to have Counterspell mana up anyway. So play an island, float a mana, and gush. Another Dreadnought. Not great, but that's fine. Oh, my opponent can now... That port was a great draw. So now they can port my island. They get to resolve Oath. They take 12 down to 6. And then they're in a situation where they actually can get lucky. So this worked out really well for my opponent. So now I can potentially get punished here. So let's portent myself. So I'm looking for... Oh, I can just stifle the Oath trigger. Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, so we're going to say okay. And then we're going to go Daze, portent, stifle, no shuffle. Play a land, swing for 12. So the only problem here is that if my opponent has exactly Swords to Plowshares, I get super punished, but I think it's fine. Like, we get to continue playing if that's the case, right? Oh, this doesn't work? No, this does work. Yeah, I'm gonna draw the portent first. So draw the portent, stifle Oath. And it's kind of unfortunate that we actually don't have a protection spell for this Dreadnought, but I think that this is worth doing. I mean, the worst case scenario is that my opponent answers the Dreadnought and then we just keep playing, right? So it's not even that bad if my opponent top decks the Swords to Plowshares anyway. Okay, cool. So we want Disenchants, we want Swords to Plowshares, and I think that's it. Yep, I think that's it. Interesting to see like how many foils I want and stuff like that, but actually I don't want that many swords. I think 2 swords will be fine. I'm just gonna be able to like answer angels more than anything else, and then we can cut a Daze on the draw and maybe a counter spell. I just cut a couple of Dazes. On the play, I'm going to bring back Dazes in place of counterspell. What do we got here? Yeah, this seems fine. Once again, we have a Gush hand, we have multiple Vision Charms, which is nice. We have some cantrips going on as well. This is fine. We're missing a Dreadnought, but we're not super... We don't really need to get it so quickly. I'm gonna sandbag these Darker Wastes for a while, though. I'm going to sandbag them for a while so that I don't like randomly Sphere of Resistance. That's not great for me. Counterspell to the bottom. Okay, that's bad. Play an island, say go. This is, I mean, the fact that we're naturally drawing lands is not the worst, at least. We can always just like Vision Charm the Sphere on a key turn if we need to. Okay, let's play the island, the plane, sorry, so that we don't get hosted by an otherwise very bad Wasteland. Okay, we'll just keep doing this. Another island is not bad. So us hitting land drops is great news. I think I stifle this. My opponent is obviously stuck on mana. Maybe it's an aggressive stifle, but like, yeah, okay, this is great. So I could gush now, but I don't think I really need to. Hey, look at that. So my opponent has to have multiple answers to this, right? So I'm just going to ship the turn back. I can Vision Charm my opponent's Sphere if I really wanted to, just attacking. So what I can do is I can Vision Charm. I can Vision Charm their Sphere on end step, and then I untap, and I do the combo. No, I think I'd rather just pass the turn, hope to find a... Just trying to find Disenchant here. I know it's not terrible, but I don't think it's what I'm looking for. A land I am into, though. I do like a land. So something I can do is I can just gush here, and then... But I can't combo off this turn, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna shuffle this. Just gonna go any other and shuffle. I do think I'm gonna gush though, because... Okay, that's pretty good. So we get to play Meddling Mage here, and I'm gonna name Oath of Druids. That was fantastic. So now we get to name Oath. My opponent can Swords to Plowshares the Meddling Mage, that's fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. We get to draw a card, another island. Okay, so we're kind of playing through this Sphere just fine. I'm just gonna play a 4/4 Terravor, yeah. Okay. Terravor in the house. So we just combo now. We get to Vision Charm. Keeps the Dreadnought protected for the turn. If my opponent swings, then they don't answer the Dreadnought. And then I get to counter whatever they use to answer my Dreadnought. And we get to swing. So my opponent will need 2 answers to Dreadnought already in hand. And both of them need to be 1 mana. because obviously both of them get turned into 2-mana answers with the sphere. Combat. I think we swing with both. So my opponent gets the free block. No, because they get to do both. Never mind. So we have to only swing with the Dreadnought. We cannot actually get our attack with Melee Mage in. Swords to Plowshares. Counterspell. Another Swords. Vision Charm. So now things get a lot more awkward, right? Because now we're in a situation where my opponent gets to swing for 7. And then if I attack, I die on the crackback. So we get into a little bit of a stalemate until I find an answer to the Terravor. Or what else can I find? Just that. But I also have to dodge them finding another answer to Dreadnought. So we're not in great shape. Opponent swings for 7. And now we are in trouble. They plow my mage? Interesting. Why would they do that? Okay, so I have to start with Gush. Because what I have is not enough. So I need to lead on Gush. Okay, Portent is actually interesting. So I can't both Counterspell and Stifle. So I guess I need to Portent target myself to look for Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, none of those do it. So I'm just gonna go any order and we're gonna send it back. We cannot attack, otherwise we die on the crackback. Vision Charm. So we let the first activation happen and then we stifle the second one, which is effectively a time walk. It's not great, but we die otherwise, so opponent can't attack now. So now, I don't think that's a good attack, because now if I find Swords to Plowshares, they lose Disenchant. Fortunately, that one doesn't work. How does Vision Charm work with Treetop Village? What if I use the second mode? So if I name Treetop Village, do they turn into Forest? But if my opponent activates them in response, then they actually get to attack? I think so. So I guess that doesn't quite do it. I mean, might as well see what happens, right? So it's gonna be just like a Treetop, like a 3/3 forest or whatever. I don't like this play by my opponent. They're playing into Swords to Plowshares for no reason. Can't I choose land creature? Yeah, I guess this doesn't work the way that I wanted it to. It's fine. All right, I had to try, okay? I never actually thought about that, so I had to give it a shot, see what's up. All right, so Daze coming back in over Counterspell. And I think that's gonna be it. Maybe I want another Swords to Plowshares. I mean, it's 1 mana interaction. 1 mana interaction is so nice. Yeah, let's go with that. Still unclear whether I want the full 4 of these or whether I want like more Dazes. I don't think I love Counterspell, and I don't think I want Flash of Insight in this matchup. We are on the play though, which is nice, and we have a pretty solid hand. Let's keep this. Turn 1 Portent, so hot. With a fetch land too. Oh baby. Portent myself. These ones are not good enough. We're gonna need some more. Okay, it's not bad. Mox. Peachy and Windswept Heath into a treetop. Seems fine to me. Ship the turn back. If they do nothing, I just Impulse. I also have both Disenchant and Annul, which is very nice. Seal. I kind of want to disenchant this Mox Diamond. So I think I'm just gonna fetch for a Plains and Impulse, because I may find a Daze. It's a Dreadnought. Yeah, that one plays. I guess we can... Okay, that's nice. So what are we doing here? I can Vision Charm, but then that's potentially problematic. Yeah, I think I want to disenchant... I guess I can disenchant the Seal of Cleansing. Yeah, let's do that. So that way I can trade my disenchant for the Seal, then following turn we combo, and I'm also holding up Disenchant through this turn, which is nice. And if my opponent gets frisky and they swing with the treetop, I just plow it, and we probably just win on the spot, so it's a factory. I don't agree with my opponent pitching the Windswept Heath to the Mox. They probably should have chipped the treetop village instead. So now we get to kill this, which is pretty nice. That's pretty good. So let's untap, play an island, and I think we ship again. Although I guess this turn I can just stifle. No, because my opponent's holding up Mox Diamond, so they can Swords to Plowshares me there. Another factory. Okay, it's kind of aggressive. So take 3, end step, disenchant the Seal, untap. Another disenchant is kind of nice actually. So now we disenchant Mox Diamond, and I guess I do nothing, I just pass it turn back. That way I can use Vision Charm to protect the Dreadnought. If my opponent had pitched the treetop instead of the Windswept Heath, they wouldn't be struggling right now with colors. So now we're going to take 4, Dreadnought Stifle. Oh, I guess we do that instead. But yeah, I think I just go for it. My opponent's short on mana. And they need like 2 answers to Dreadnought. Otherwise, they lose in a single swing. So this takes 1 draw step from them. Also, if their answer is Swords to Plowshares, I gain infinite time once again, right? All right, they did find a Windswept Heath. Let's see what they got. They found a green source. This is going to be a Terravore? Okay, yeah, I can beat this. I have to be careful not to die on the crackback, though. Okay, that probably stops me from dying, right? So we swing, opponent chumps with a factory. That's going to be a 3-3. So they're going to take down to 1. They go exactly down to 1. Then they swing for 5, because the factory is going to grow the Terravore 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so that's not close to lethal. So let's serve with both of them, force the play. So they get to activate, put the factory in front, and then pump the factory. Now they take 21, and they have a 5-5 plus factory to attack with. My opponent says, damn, no white source, but they actually got rid of 2 of them, right? But yeah, I mean, this deck is really hard to play. That's something that I've been learning about the green-white deck. Like, it's actually very, very challenging to play. Like, it's one of those decks that's just deceptively very hard, because where the complexities lie are not necessarily obvious at first glance. But this game was, like, if my opponent has interactive spells, this game was very winnable for them. But they pitched the Windswept Heath to the Mox instead of pitching the Treetop Village, and that ended up killing them. Yeah. Armageddon? Well, I was definitely not playing around this. Like, I don't think you won it against me, but, like, I don't think. But I wouldn't have, I mean, it would have gotten me real good. Anyway, okay, we got an honorary episode of Dueling Grounds right here, playing against the one and only Tom Metelski. This can look good. Let's keep this. Oddly tempting to portent my opponent here to see what they're playing and that kind of stuff. But I'm gonna be disciplined and I'm gonna portent myself because I know what I'm looking for, right? I'm just looking for protection for this Dreadnought that I can drop on turn 2. So something like a Daze, something like a foil counterspell doesn't actually protect it, which is awkward. But so portent myself, Floated Strand, Dreadnought, Island. So Floated Strand is actually kind of nice because that allows me to protect the Dreadnought via Meddling Mage, which I can play on turn 2. Then I can shuffle probably the redundant Dreadnought. Yeah. Actually, what are the chances that Tom is playing a Cabal Therapy deck? Because if that's the case, then I want to probably keep the Dreadnought as the second card and shuffle away the Island. But otherwise, I would want to keep the Island because I already have a Dreadnought and I really want to make sure that I have fuel for foil if I top deck it. So I think I'm actually going to go for the second. So I'm going to go Dreadnought, Island, and Floated Strand, no shuffle. And I'm going to play the Floated Strand turn 2 so that I can use Meddling Mage. City of Brass unfortunately doesn't tell me anything at all. I mean, I could just opt bottom, right? Actually, let's just ship the turn back. City of Brass just doesn't give me any information. He could be playing a combo deck. He could be playing Goblins, Shivan Reef. Still got nothing. So let's shuffle here, get an Island, and we're gonna get 1 free look thanks to the opt. Bottom the Island, find Counterspell. Okay, that's cool. Can work with that. There's no way Tom's playing Solution, right? I mean, I guess I just don't need to do anything. Just hold up Counterspell, potentially Stifle, Impulse. What are you up to, Tom? What are you up to with your double City of Brass Shivan Reef mana base? What the hell? Okay, so this is a turn that I play out Meddling Mage, and I think I'm going to name Lightning Bolt, unfortunately. Like, it's probably bad, but it's the best thing that I can name. Oh, he could be on Dreadnought too, just blue-red. That definitely looks like Dreadnought mana. Oh, okay. So this is what we got going on. Well, now we know. Mind Stones, Resolve. Just gonna cycle Mind Stone, Sphere. Okay. Yeah, all of this is fine. Alright, cool. So I was scared of a bunch of nothing. Let's play at Darker Ways here, actually. Oh, we're gonna go Dreadnought into Stifle. So this is just a Tinker combo, the Devourer combo, right? That's good. That's good. The way that Tom played it was very good, right? Like, he effectively time-walked me twice because of his land sequencing. If he had played an Ancient Tomb, I would have immediately just gone for it, right? Defense Grid. Okay, well, I'm gonna counter this. Can't do anything afterwards. Is that good enough? I think he's gotta get lucky because he's kind of short on mana here. Never mind, he's not short on mana. He can definitely combo me out right now. Maybe he doesn't have it? Boom! All right, great. So, these are good. These are good. These are also very good, and that's kind of it. So we're gonna cut a couple of Daces, we're gonna cut Swords to Plowshares. Like foils, I like counter spells. So Hydro Blasts are mostly there to win counter wars. Meddling Mage sounds great. Man, this matchup is weird. I don't think I want Armageddon. Don't think I want Flash either. Don't think I want Brain Freeze. Let's cut an island and foil, I guess, on the draw a counter spell. Maybe Blue Elemental Blast, Red Elemental Blast is the cards that are supposed to go here, because they're not particularly flexible. I do love this. I want to keep this. This hand looks really good. Turn 1 Defense Grid, we probably have to foil. Yeah, I think so. So Island and Impulse are going to go here. Mage is nice. So Portent myself. No lands, so we're going to shuffle that. Man, brutal. The turn 1 Defense Grid is devastating there. Any land is good because it allows me to resolve this curse totem. Okay, brutal. So I really need to resolve this quickly. Land. Bottom that because it's not a land. That's a land. Okay. All right. Now we hold. Now we hold. It's actually better for me to play curse totem than Meddling Mage because Tinker actually gets around Meddling Mage. So I think it's better for me to play out the curse totem. It's main facing the Impulse. Altar. Okay. Here goes nothing, Tom. So he needs to have the answer and the Devourer. He needs to have both things. His mana situation is also not ideal. So we have that going on for us. So even if he does have answers like Chain of Vapor or whatever, he still can't cast it. So that is nice. Then I can Meddling Mage, probably naming Devourer. I guess Tinker. So Meddling Mage, name Tinker, ship it back. Kind of brutal that I bottomed a Dreadnought. Would definitely want to have access to that Dreadnought now. So we're pretty far away from casting these counter spells, but we are on the Meddling Mage game plan. For X and Devourer. So this is bad against like Pyroblast and Rev, but like I would be guessing anyway. So we draw Darker Waste, we can play that, and now swing for 4. This is a 3-turn clock, this is no joke. Also, by the way, I can now cast Stifle through Defense Grid. Just by the way. And with any one land, I can actually just cast this counter spell through the Defense Grid. Okay, blue-white to cast Impulse. City of Brass is literally like the cheapest in terms of life, like the cheapest land that he has access to. He can either take 1 from the city or like 2 from the Ancient Tomb. That's hilarious. Any land? Boom. All right, so now that locks it up. Now he has nothing he can do. Like this effectively destroys both of his Ancient Tombs, and now City of Brass is also limited in what it can do. So he only has 2 mana, and I have Counterspell up. So that locks up the game. Oh, Meddling Mage. How are you so powerful? How are you so good? I love Meddling Mage so much. He had Pyroclasm. He says, that turn was nuts. I had to bottom both Pyroclasm to win next turn and avoid the totem. Wow. What a wild game. I kind of wish that I could see his side. See you for the next one. Game number 1 of match 3. No idea what we're up against. This is a super reactive hand. I think I keep it. I'm on the play though, so maybe this is a better hand to keep on the draw. I mean, this Daze though is very nice. The fact that I have both Daze and foil is what makes me want to keep this. Like if I find a cantrip, if I have a Dreadnought, if I find even something like a Rootwalla. Yeah, I'm not gonna counter that one. Second Daze, the punishment. But yeah, obviously I don't want to counter that one because I want to counter the Survival or the Wild Mongrel or whatever. So we take 1. Oh, he just pumps. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll take 3. That's fine. A Darker Waste. Pass the turn back. Not a great draw, but I'd rather be hitting my land drops and not hitting my land drops, right? So 1 in swings. I'll take it. Take 1. Pass the turn back, huh? Okay, I can work with this. Portent myself. Let's see what we got going on over there. We can still double Daze here, which is nice. So that's a Counterspell, Stifle, Meddling Mage. Is that good enough? I really want to find the Dreadnought quick. I don't think Mage is going to be enough. So I'm just going to shuffle this away. Any order and shuffle. Pass the turn back. And I think the first Daze that I'm going to... Like if my opponent goes for Frantic Search here, which they do, I'm just going to Daze it by bouncing a land. I could also just hard cast the Daze, but I don't need to take the damage if I don't have to. Like they very clearly have an Arrogant Worm in hand. Another Vision Charms now what the Doctor ordered. This feels like the kind of match where I just like spend a bunch of time just rolling over and dying, you know? Looks like my opponent's holding up Counterspell. Dreadnought would be the best draw. Okay, Impulse is not terrible. That allows me to do something on my opponent's hand step. Also, they just keep doing nothing. It's fine with me. Okay, so that's fine. So I'm gonna Impulse on end step. Looking for Dreadnought. There it is. We bought him some goodies there, but it'll be fine. Okay, so 1 mana, play a Dreadnought. Then I will Stifle. And that just happened. Alright, cool. So now we have Double Vision Charm, Daze Foil. So we're in kind of okay shape here. Swords to Plowshares? Okay, I'm into it. I'm into it. This is kind of awkward here because if my opponent swings, they pump. Oh, they have nothing. Okay, cool. I was gonna say, like, 'cause now we win the race, but like, because I went to 9, maybe I wouldn't have won the race there. Okay, that's pretty good too. So now we are just guaranteed to win. Actually, I need to think about this because, so my opponent's at 6. I need to make sure that I have both Daze and Foil backup here. So I think I'm actually not going to play the Dreadnought. Like, how does this punish me? So anything they can play, any removal spell, be it Naturalize, be it another Swords to Plowshares, I can just Vision Charm. Yeah, I think it's better for me to do nothing here. It otherwise forces my opponent to have 2 removal spells though, and that's kind of nice. But then I'm blanking my own foil, so that's kind of awkward too. Man, this is very close. I think I'm actually going to play out the Dreadnought, force my opponent to have another one. This is bad if my opponent has like Annul or something like that, right? So now we have another Dreadnought coming up, and then we have Daze plus Foil for the one that we have in play. That Daze on the Frantic Search ended up being fantastic. It slowed my opponent down to a crawl. I could have let it resolve and then counter the Arrogant Worm, but then like, this was much better, right? Like I allowed the Arrogant Worm to just like get stuck in their hand. There's nothing they can do with it. I think my opponent thought that I was playing land still in the beginning, and that's why they played it maybe a little bit too slow. Okay, so now we're playing against Blue-Green Madness. So I want Swords to Plowshares, definitely want Annul, and I definitely want Curse Totem. These are the bangers. Past that, I think I don't want Disenchant. I don't think I want any of the other ones. Armageddon is a big maybe, but I don't think this is what the matchup is about. Like, it's definitely a mid-range matchup, but I think it's more about the creatures than their mana. So let's cut down a foil, 1 counter spell. I do actually like Meddling Mages. Can cut some dazes on the draw, and maybe a land. When we're on the play, we're obviously going to change some things around if we go to game 3. Whew, this is the nut draw, right? Yeah, I think I actually do want to keep this. Like, we have a bunch of selection. We have counterspell to Mum? Oh, please don't have a Meddling Mage on 2. I can never beat a Meddling Mage on 2. Portent, great. Yeah, we're going to keep this. And then we're going to go Stifle, Dreadnought, Strand, no shuffle, shift the turn back. I don't think I'm just going to play out the Dreadnought though on turn 2. I don't really have to. I can just hold up Impulse. All right, this is very scary. If they play a Meddling Mage, I kind of just lose. Oh my god. Wow, the 1-2 punch. Okay, so now I need to draw my own Meddling Mage. Oh, this is a disaster. So there's a Stifle on top. I could potentially use that to stifle the Mum trigger. I think my opponent's just gonna sit down and they're just gonna swing 10 times with this Meddling Mage. Never do anything else. Rootwalla. Yeah, I think I'm gonna counter that actually. Man, what a weird deck my opponent's on. I wonder if they're just not even playing survival. It's a good draw. That's definitely a good draw. So Portent myself. Okay, so I want the Gush, but don't want the other 2. So we're just gonna go top, 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 no shuffle. Ship the turn back. Draw the Gush. And then if my opponent plays something that I want to counter, I'm going to do that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna Impulse. Fetch for a white source probably. So fetch for Plains Impulse. That's big. Yeah, that's really big. That's real big. Okay, cool. So Curse Totem is great. So that means that really limits what I need, right? So let's start the turn by gushing. And then, oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is good stuff. We got good stuff here. So they can't have Mana Leak or anything like that. So I guess I lead on Meddling Mage. And I'm just going to name, I guess, Wild Monger. No, actually Wild Monger doesn't do anything anymore because of the Curse Totem. So I guess I'm just going to name Survival. Or I guess Frantic Search is a card that I know that they have. Maybe I should be naming Survival. I just be assuming that they build their deck correctly. I can just slam a Curse Totem, but then I get got by Naturalize. So I would like to protect the Curse Totem. So I'm just gonna Portent here. Okay, yeah, this is fantastic. Okay, perfect, perfect. So let's go waste, STP, stifle, no shuffle, ship the turn back. I can actually just block the meddling mage and I can stifle the mom trigger. Okay, my opponent's got a Swords of Plowshares. It's kind of good for me actually. So now we're going to next turn play Curse Totem. I want all of my cards, so I think I'm just going to opt just to draw the card for no... that's so bad though. Because I'm drawing the Swords of Plowshares now. Yeah, I think I just passed the turn. So we untap, play a land, and I'm just going to play Curse Totem. So that resolves, so even if they have like a Naturalize or something for this, I still get to kill the Meddling Mage on the way out. And then we untap, play a land, Dreadnought. We're looking good. Woo! Oh, this Curse Totem is so hot. This Curse Totem is so hot. It's incredible. So now we find a land, play a Darker Waste, play Dreadnought, Vision Charm. Actually, I'm gonna Stifle, save the Vision Charms for protection. Now I'm feeling like $1,000,000 here. I'm beating 2 removal spells, I'm winning the race. Curse Totem. I think this is low-key the best card in my sideboard. Every time it shows up, it's just so impressive. Gilded Drake. So I think we just Vision Charm here. Now Gilded Drake's got no targets, so we'll die. And then we can opt if we want to, or we can just pass the turn. Okay, cool. So let's opt, stifle. Don't think I want that. Vision Charm's much better. Yeah, I think this game's over now. So take 12, down to 5. We have Counterspell, Vision Charm up, and then same thing next turn. Careful Study is fine. Even if they put like an Arrogant Worm in play or whatever, like it just doesn't matter. They just don't have enough mana to do everything that they want. And we can do that stuff through days, by the way. All right, GG's. Match number 4. This one is interesting. If this were an island, I think I snap keep this. But because it's not, it makes things much more awkward. Because it effectively blanks these two, right? Like I'm super far away from both of these. I have no cantrips. And I don't know whether Meddling Mage is going to be great or terrible in the matchup. So I think I'm going to mulligan. This is better. Yeah, this one's definitely better. So we're going to bottom Redundant Gush. And then we have... Turn 1 Portent, playing against Basic Island. Turn 1 Portent myself, looking for a land. This is so I think I want Redundant Stifle instead of Redundant. So I'm gonna go top, undo actually. Oh, well, I guess there's no going back. So I'm gonna have 2 foils instead of 2 stifles. And that sucks. Because I really wish it were the other way around. But I'm definitely gonna shuffle. Blue-white, Seal of Cleansing. Nuh-uh. Untap, play a land, say go. Really wish I didn't have this stupid foil in hand now. 3 mana for Attunement. Oh, this is what we're playing against. Yeah, that's fine. Well, I guess Meddling Mage would have been incredible, huh? So we're playing against Replenish. Peaching Opalescence, Attunement, Wastes, Opalescence. I'm gonna shuffle, because I don't want to draw another Stifle. Untap, draw Counterspell. It's fine draw. Just a fine draw. I'm basically gonna counter anything here. They don't play anything, so that sucks. Yeah, I guess I have to port it myself. That's not good enough. I need to find the Dreadnought, so shift the turn back. I could Gush here and just make a land drop. Maybe that's better than doing nothing. Intuition is fine. Yeah, maybe, because I'm probably going to foil something here, right? So maybe I should have Gushed and made a land drop. I'm still not countering anything anyway, right? But maybe I would need to go to... Okay, he's got Replenish. I guess he's going for it. So we're going to probably have to foil... Oh, that's a good one. Oh, he's playing around Ace. All right, so this worked out good for us. This worked out well. This worked out really well. Now we get to play Meddling Mage named Replenish. Ship it back. Probably gonna Gush foil if my opponent has Swords of Plowshares. Yep, it's Gush here. There's the Dreadnought I've been looking for. So counter, discarding Island, and Stifle. 3 mana to Intuition. Okay, that resolves. I don't think I should be countering that Intuition. I should just wait for my opponent to spend their turn. Yeah, this is fine. So I was scared that my opponent may find just a Parallax Wave there. But if they're looking up Swords of Plowshares, so now they're out of swords, right? So no more Swords of Plowshares. What I can do now is I can just let this go. But I think that this is just more awkward for my opponent. So I'm just going to counter this, Peaching, Island, and I guess Counterspell. Because I really want to resolve Dreadnought. So now I lose to Parallax Wave now. If my opponent's got Wave, I just lose to it. But that needs to be their exact hand, their last card in hand. Well, I guess I can't play into that Seal of Cleansing. So I need to find Counterspell now. I guess I should have pitched probably the Vision Charm. untap, play Flooded Strand in case I draw foil. But now it's, he needs to draw Parallax Wave, and I need to draw either Counterspell or foil or something like that. Seal of Cleansing, okay. So we're not winning with Dreadnought, we got that. Play another island. This is fun. No! Ugh. So I need to find Counterspell this turn. Swing. So Gush. Nope, doesn't do it. Well, I lose now. Man, that Seal of Cleansing got me good. I mean, I lost this game because I pitched the wrong card to foil, right? If I had pitched either the Dreadnought or the Vision Charm. But at the time, I didn't have any more information, and I wanted to have a Dreadnought so I could actually close the game quickly. But yeah, he found the Parallax Wave without any counters or anything. He found it faster than I found a Counterspell. So I guess I'm trying to think if there's anything I can do here, because he's just gonna bring back the Opalescences, and I just have to hope that he plays around a Counterspell, which I don't have, but I don't think he's going to, because it doesn't get any better for him, right? So fair got me good. So we cut the stupid Swords of Plowshares, bring in Armageddons, Brain Freezes, Curse Totem. I think it's interesting, but I don't think that's where I want to be. So cut Division Charms, bring in Disenchants, potentially Flash of Insight. The nice thing about Flash of Insight is that I get to set things up for Armageddon. This game is definitely going to go long, so I'm going to cut 1 day, but I do want the second one. Actually, I'm on the Brain Freeze plan, so let me cut the Stifles instead of the Vision Charms. So we're kind of in a transformational sideboard plan where we are a little bit of an Armageddon Brain Freeze deck. We'll see if it works. Definitely want to be on the play, and this hand looks fine. Oddly enough, I'm going to lead on a Darker Wastes, just in case I need to do something with foil. I don't think it's gonna get to that, but okay, now I drew a land, so now we're cooking now. I am now playing Armageddon, so I do have to watch out for that. Like, I need to make sure that I have second Brain Freeze, okay. I mean, this is getting to a critical point at this point. Okay. I mean, if we're going land go, these 2 Brain Freezes in my hand are going to be pretty powerful. Do I have Important here? I think I do. Let's see what I find. Yes! Yes to all. So we're gonna go land, Mage, Geddon, no shuffle. He fetches on my end step, and we draw the Geddon. Fetches, main phase. Nothing, huh? Well, here's a Meddling Mage. His name's Swords to Plowshares. And I guess I gush now? I know I'm drawing a land. No, this is actually better. Let's just sit on it. Intuition and end step. That's fine. It's nice that if he goes for all waves, I just disenchant the wave and we just move on, right? And then this comes back and I probably name Swords to Plowshares again. If he goes get wave 2, that goes for his entire turn. The only thing is that he can play wave and they just not activate it, and that would basically soak up 2 of my mana, which is not great. Interesting. What do I give him here? I think I just give him Tithe. Yeah, because Tithe is the one that gives me the power, because Tithe only does anything at all if he does it main phase. Frantic Search. That's fine, I think. Meaning Skycloud expands times 2. 5 mana. Another Frantic Search. Okay. Speed it on my clock. 2 more Skycloud expanses go out. That's funny. I mean, if he just replenishes, I let it go. Intuition. Man, he's going at it. That's a very impressive turn by my opponent, this one. They've done a lot of stuff. Replenish 2. Okay. They just cast the wave first. Okay. I can actually just Brain Freeze here for 5. That's 15 cards going to the graveyard. I don't think that's enough. So I think what we do is we just disenchant. And then we untap an Armageddon. So I guess we're off the Brain Freeze plan. We are now an Armageddon deck. We're officially an Armageddon deck now. I'd like to gush, please. Got islands. We definitely got islands. And now we have foil and these stupid Brain Freezes just rotting in my hand. So we know one of these cards in hand is Replenish. Oh my god, we got islands. That we do. That we do. Ancient Tomb. Okay. Actually kind of scary. We do have the foil, which is nice. Naturally hit it all. So I guess I just foil pitching 2 lands? Yeah. Foil pitching 2 islands. And then we swing and then the Ancient Tomb is effectively destroyed. That was much closer though than I thought it was gonna be. I was flooding pretty hard, but yeah, that ended up being crazy close. He did not see Brain Freeze at all. So we got that up our sleeve, which is nice. We also did not see a single Seal of Cleansing. Yeah, I still think I like this game plan. I could have potentially sided out a land when I was on the draw, sorry. But I think I like it though. Okay, this hand is nice, I think. We can hopefully find another land thanks to Ponder. We have some Daze action going on. So we really need to find a land, which we don't. So we're just going to shuffle and ship it back and hope that we find a blue source. Island? All right, if I'm not going to draw an island, if I draw a second Daze, it's not the worst. Definitely dazing here. I'm kind of dazing anything, honestly. Yeah, so this allows me to quote-unquote hit my land drop there. A really bad way of hitting my land drop, but... And now we find an island, please. Upkeep, Intuition. Interesting. Good timing. Okay, so this time I'm going to give my opponent the Opalescence, because the Daze, the Tide would actually do something on this board. Unfortunately, we did not find a land drop, so I think we're probably going to lose. Like, this was the key turn. Like, if I find my land, I would feel very, very comfortable with my position, but we didn't. And I'm flooding on Gushes instead, so... Attunement, which we can't do anything about. Gotta find a land drop. Not all hope is lost. Not all hope is lost. We also have Impulse, so we hopefully are going to be able to hit multiple land drops from here. Orim's Chant is huge. So I think I have to counterspell this and then hope that he can't pay for this. Okay, and it's going to be really hard considering he just cast Attunement here. So I guess it's better for me to like gush and hope to find a foil. Yeah, the difference between Orim's Chant and Abeyance, pretty big deal right about now, right? Because I'm forced to counter the spell anyway. I need costing 1 as opposed to 2. Massive difference when I get a Daze here that I'm cooking with. Frantic Search. That actually nets him mana. Man, super brutal. So I need to find specifically foil of these Gushes, because Daze doesn't stop the replenish. So that's kind of all that it is, right? Like, I either find foil and potentially win the game, or I don't and I lose immediately. All right, this is my first time I'm losing to replenish, actually. I just did not find my land drop on time, right? Like, I have this Impulse stuck in my hand from like the very first couple of turns. But yeah, so from now on, I don't get to have land drops and I don't get to play creatures either. So we cannot win the game anymore. Well played by Fair. Very, very well played by him. All right, let's see you for the last round. Okay, last round. This hand is probably fine. Man, we don't have any cantrips. We don't have a Dreadnought, but we have like double counterspell. We're on the draw, which is a little bit shaky. I think I can do better than this. Not this one. No, not this one. Yeah, let's go to 5. Okay, this one's better. I like this one better. Keep here, bottom an island, and probably bottom Stifle. I think I want to keep the Opt. Yeah, I think I want to do that. I think I'm more banking on Meddling Mage being good than Stifle being good. Red. Okay, so we're playing against Dreadnought. Against Sligh, sorry. Which is bad, considering that I kept a Meddling Mage hand. So, Mage not great versus Curse Scroll. So, opponent plays a land, passes the turn back. Vision Charm. We're going to need that, but we have more charms than... Yep, good thing I bought them. We have more charms than... Oh, interesting. Okay, so I think I actually want to play out an island here and ship the turn back, hoping to annul something like a Sulfuric Vortex. Opponent not using their mana there is pretty good for us. Oh, I feel so smart. I feel so smart now. Not great, but it's whatever. Do I even want to play Meddling Mage here? I guess I do. And I guess I'm gonna name Ball Lightning? Though I kind of want my opponent to play Ball Lightning so I can Daze it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna name Ball Lightning. The reason to name Ball Lightning is that it is a card that my opponent is effectively going. If they spend their turn using Curse Scroll and Meddling Mage, then they can't deploy the Ball Lightning. Bubble, yeah, Bubble's fine. Foil was revealed. The opponent goes 1 in 3. Ball Lightning! Oh my god, I'm a genius or what? Obviously it sucks because my opponent got free value from their Curse Scroll, right? But at the same time, feeling very smart about naming Ball Lightning there, huh? I'm gonna actually, I guess we can play this out so I can just hardcast the foil. I was gonna say we can, you know, save that to pitch to the foil, but it's probably better to not 3-for-1 myself, right? And just hardcast that. So this is gonna be kind of awkward. Because if I stifle the fetch to enable my Daze to stop the Ball Lightning, then that's gonna mean that I don't have like the other half of the Dreadnought combo. I really want to find the Dreadnought here. Okay, now with the second stifle, we're definitely going for it. Yep, Curse Scroll activation. There's no way they have 4 Ball Lightnings in hand, right? Oh, Fire Blast. Okay, so now they whiffed. Definitely stifling that one. because now we know we already have a second Stifle, so that's fine now. We can now Daze a Bolt Lightning cast, Hardcast Daze, and now we really have to find a Dreadnought. It's not a Dreadnought. Holding on to the island because we may need to like pitch foil at some point. Mog Fanatic I'm not gonna counter. Dreadnought? Gush. Okay, not bad. Punish for not playing my land last turn, but it's okay. Yeah, this is fine. Chip the turn back. They also played a Fanatic and they did not get a Curse Scroll activation, so that Stifle on the land was fantastic. Grim is a little bit scarier, but I don't think I can afford to counter that when I know my opponent has a Fire Blast coming up, right? Portent is great. So Portent myself, there's a Dreadnought, top, 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 no shuffle, play second land. We're going to Gush, play Dreadnought, and Stifle. Now we have foil. We know we're going to be drawing a dead land, but that's fine. Lightning Bolt face, that's fine. Perfectly okay with that. There's an argument there for like Vision Charming myself, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit cute and I'm going to upkeep Vision Charm my opponent out of red mana. So here is really awkward for my opponent, right? Because if they activate Grim, they don't activate Curse Scroll and vice versa. So take 12. Let's see what they do on end step. Bolt my face. That's fine. Down to 8. I guess I don't need to Vision Charm. Do I need to Vision Charm here? Because most things my opponent can just... So here I'm at a virtual... So I think I'm just going to let my opponent do the thing. And I'm just going to hold up counterspell. Because otherwise I'm just taking 1 point of damage in order to cast the counterspell. As is, I'm only taking 1 to cast counterspell, so I'm at a virtual 7. Whereas if I Vision Charm, I'm at a virtual 6, which is a lot scarier against the Lightning Bolt deck and Bolt Lightning deck. But yeah, fortunately, they tap out for Bolt Lightning, and we just have the counterspell. So now we're just good. Opponent knows about the foil too, and they also know about the island, so they just back it in. All right, burn. We like these cards, and that's it. I don't like Meddling Mages, and I guess I'm on the play here. So on the draw, so I guess I can cut an island. I really want to try Armageddon against burn. Like, this is something that I've been thinking about. Because if my opponent wants to play the longer game, we can just get on them out of this world. I think I'm not going to go for it. I am going to cut the Annul, though. We're bringing in much better interaction. So, okay, so what do we got here? We have some decent start. We get Portent into Impulse, which is probably pretty likely to find us a Dreadnought. We don't have great protection, but I think this is fine. Also would kind of love to have access to a Bolt line, a way to stop it like a Bolt line or something like that. Bubble. Plains was revealed. Play fetch, Mog Fanatic. Okay, cool. Hydroblast is not terrible, but I'm definitely spending this turn to Portent, because I don't think there's anything I'm scared of in turn 2. Yeah, those are fine, I think. So that means that I can Swords this Mog and then just do some other stuff. And I think I want to draw both Swords to Plowshares, so I'm just going to leave this Stifle at the very top. So this is going to buy me a pretty healthy amount of time here, and it's going to give me like a lot of flexibility. And then the Stifle I can just pass through thanks to Impulse. Jackal Pup. Huh, okay. Are they baiting the Stifle? There's no way they're baiting the Stifle, right? I think that was just a misstep. Definitely going to plow the Pup now. So plow the Pup. Do I want to draw another Stifle? I don't think so. Okay, maybe I did get caught there. But I think I'm just gonna Impulse on my own upkeep. now they're terrified. Yeah, I'm gonna take the island here over the other options. Punished. So now we're looking for a Dreadnought. Falling down to 3 cards in hand, now up to 4. If we find the Dreadnought, I think I'm just going for it. I also love the fact that Swords to Plowshares is kind of insurance, because it's a gain 12. So now Hydroblast has been revealed to the bubble. Another foil is not great, so I guess I'm going to play out the land in the hopes of hardcasting this foil on kind of literally anything. But if they swing, I'm going to take the 1, and probably I'm going to... Yeah, that's worth countering. That gives my opponent way too much flexibility. Gush is great here. So let's Gush and find the Dreadnought. Perfect. So Dreadnought into Vision Charm. Gush really is a hell of a card, huh? Opponent fetches. Overload. We're going to Hydroblast that. Mog Salvage. We're going to foil that. And we're going to pass the turn back. And opponent down to 1 card. So it's 2 cards to my 1. The good thing is that even if they do find an answer to the Dreadnought, I do get to gain 12, which is going to buy me a pretty healthy amount of time. Another Vision Charm should lock this game up. If they take 12 here, then I know that I win. So with 3 cards, they cannot deal me 12 damage. So this is just fine. All right. Great. Awesome. Yeah, Burn is a pretty good matchup for us. So not too much of a surprise there. But yeah, Mock Salvage is a hell of a card against us. That's definitely a good one. Well, there you go. Whenever you want to try hard, this is definitely a good choice. This deck is spectacular, and this card Gush is very, very strong in this shell. I do like the stuff that we have. I did really enjoy 19 lands, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like we're a little bit short on cantrips. I feel like I would want one more cantrip, so that would mean I would cut the Annul. And if I do that, that would make my sideboarding a lot more complicated, right? Like, so one of the main reasons why I put the Annul in the main deck was precisely because I wanted access to a quote-unquote 16th sideboard card. But the problem with getting rid of this is that we are now in a spot where I will need to cut something. I'm already short on the Last Breath. Like, I really wish that I could play a second copy. And now if I do move the Annul onto the sideboard, then that will make things even trickier because it will force me to cut something else. But I did feel like I wanted to have access to one more cantrip at least to smooth out draws a little bit. I don't know if I want it to be opt. Now that I'm on 19 lands, Impulse feels a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for here? It feels a little bit less bad because I'm going to be naturally hitting land drops, so I'm not going to be in the situation where I want to opt on one as often. Still on that though, Impulse is kind of awkward. Like, we already saw that match where I played against Replenish where I was on the one land and I had that Impulse stuck in my hand, and even if I had found the land, it would have not been free, right? Like, I'm not guaranteed to have found the correct spot to cycle an Impulse, so Impulse is very awkward. Like, I do firmly believe that opt may just be better, but Impulse does make your Armageddon, and now that I'm on both Armageddon and Brain Freeze, I'm even more incentivized to try to play Impulse as my cantrip of choice. So it's tough, right? It really is tough. So I really do wish I had access to one more. So I think I'm gonna go for an opt, like opt number 3 over here. But yeah, stay tuned for what card I cut because I have no idea. I know what I'm not cutting, right? I know that I'm not cutting the Cursed Totems. I know that I'm not cutting like the Last Breath. So the cuts are gonna be either the second Armageddon, the second Brain Freeze, although I don't like having only a single Brain Freeze. I feel like Brain Freeze, for it to be a consistent game plan, it needs to be either 2 or 0. So I don't know, not loving that. And potentially, like, I guess I could technically cut the second Disenchant, but I don't love doing that either, so it's probably going to be one of these. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye. Long live Premodern!